So many times in the sports world, we hear stories about how the game has made someone better, tougher, more able to fight life challenges and prevail, whether they win or lose. But how often do you hear that merely standing on the sidelines is saving someone's life? Well, that is exactly the case with Joe Rychnovsky, a BCSN commentator who was recently diagnosed with a rare terminal type of cancer, a prognosis that would be crushing to most all, but not Joe. His determination to overcome and beat cancer is overwhelming. His positive attitude while he does it is simply amazing.
The final score, 76-67. Raise your hand up. Let me see you. The Bowser Rebels are your 2015-2016 City League champs. It was a great pitching performance, really, by Alyssa Rothwell, who will be pitching next year at Ball State. The story of the game, Brandon Winters, at quarterback, he was amazing, 147 yards on the ground, not to mention a great passing performance as well.
Adversity has become a close friend to Joe Rychnovsky, one that met him the second he came into this world.
I was born with a kidney disease, so I didn't think I was going to make it. I was in the hospital. I don't know. It was, I was born, for several weeks, several months. I'm not sure exactly what it was.
But he didn't let that stop him. Growing up a lover of sports, Joe played anything and everything he could until he went to college when he was stopped dead in his tracks.
Well, on my 18th birthday is when I was supposed to go on dialysis. I waited a few days after that because I wasn't going to do it on my birthday. And, you walk in and all these people are dying from kidney disease, and here you're an 18-year-old, freshman in college. And so I went on dialysis, and then 9 months later I got a kidney transplant.
But even that couldn't slow him down from achieving his dream of being a sports broadcaster.
I knew I wanted to do this, Christina, when I was 6 years old and I started playing baseball. I either wanted to play or be an announcer. And I knew I couldn't play very well. So everybody says that. The next day, you better talk about it, Joe, because you're not very good playing it.
He did exactly that. Traveled the world, and 18 years ago made the Glass City his home.
Toledo's great. It's a great city. It's been very good to me. Whatever school you go to, the people are just wonderful. The coaches, the fans, the players, the kids. They all understand that we're all a big community, but yet we're all a small town as well.
But once again, Joe was faced with another challenge, this being his toughest yet.
I noticed what I thought was a cyst. I noticed a lump right down on my belt line. I went in and did surgery, removed the lymph node, and it came back to be a very rare skin cancer called Merkel cell carcinoma. I'd never heard of it in my life. But it was a shock. I mean, whenever they tell you have cancer, I went home and I cried. I said, especially when I found out too that the kind of cancer it was, that it was, it's basically the kind that you can't really beat. And so I said, okay, what are my treatment options? And they said the first treatment is to go into the lymph nodes and to take the cancer out. So they said, well, we can't do that for you because it would cause you to go into organ failure, and that's the worst thing. We can't throw you in organ failure and have you fight terminal cancer. So they said the next step is radiation, because this form of cancer seems to respond well to radiation. Well, strike two, Christina. They couldn't do radiation because, again, the radiation would damage the kidney. The third option is chemotherapy. We'll put you on chemo and see if we can stop the disease in its tracks and throw it in remission. So that's where I am now.
Joe makes his way to the Toledo Cancer Center 3 mornings each week with his wife of 10 years, Janet, right by his side.
I have here for another day.
All right. Get you checked in here. All right, Joe, you are all set.
Thank you.
You're
Back
welcome.
to my chair.
A chair that he will spend the next 3 hours in receiving treatment. A port has been surgically implanted into his chest, so that way when his favorite nurse Amanda comes to greet him, she won't have to stick him with any needles.
And actually, I didn't like getting it in, but it's been good that I've had it because they don't have to do it through your veins that way. And I was, I was tired once that was over because it was a long day. But no, I've been real good. I haven't had any, now knock on wood, I haven't had any problems, but so far so good. But you never know. I mean, it's cumulative. So this is just my 3rd treatment, so I'll be getting done with my 3rd treatment. And then I'll do it through February, God's willing, that it works and get some of this cancer out of me. It's not curable what I have, but it's treatable. And they can throw it in remission and stop it. So that's what we're kind of hoping right now.
After all is said and done, Joe is free to start his day.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate
Bye,
it.
Joe.
Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow.
heading to his full-time job at BCSN that he says is literally saving his life.
It gives me such a relief to be able to work every day, to continue to do what I do, because it takes my mind off cancer. I'm not sitting at home in front of that computer looking up, all the dangers of cancer and all the, negative statistics and how you could be dead in 2 months or how you could. I'm not doing that. I'm out at the games. I'm being Joe Sports Guy. I'm being the average Joe. I'm just doing my job, and it has been wonderful mentally for me to continue to work every day. And if you didn't have the community, if you didn't have the support, you didn't have the love, I don't know if I'd make it through these cancer treatments. I don't know if I'd be able to get up every day and say, Joe Rychnovsky's going to fight cancer. No, Joe Rychnovsky's going to beat cancer.
But even with Joe's positive attitude, there are struggles he faces every single day.
It breaks my heart to see my mom going through what she's going through right now. It does. I mean, I can't tell you how hard it is for me to have to put her and my family and my wife and all my friends through this, because I know they worry about me, I know they love me, but I'm gonna beat it, I'm gonna get through it.
Is there a message that you want to send to people in this community?
Yes, I do, I absolutely do, and that's another reason, besides the fact that I'm gonna be going bald soon, people are gonna be wondering what the heck's going on, that's another reason I, wanted to get the story out there, is I want everybody to know that cancer is a disease that we can all beat. We can all fight together, we can all support each other. No matter how long I'm alive, or the next person's alive, or the next person's alive, or the next person's alive, if we're together, then we'll beat it.
As Joe Rychnovsky takes on his next challenge in life, he'll ride the wave of faith that will eventually release him from his pain.
I know one thing, I'm not going to take a charge with you barreling down on me, that's for sure.
Joe Rychnovsky is not your average Joe, even though that is exactly how he wants you to see him, standing sideline, commentating on the games that are literally saving his life. So when you see Joe, smile, wave, say hello, and give him the strength he needs to press on by simply believing that he will beat this.